Hey guys, it's your humble host again, or Kid if you prefer. So I'm back with another video. This one is not going to be fun. I usually stay away from anything TED Talk related because it's usually clown world. And I've seen other people cover them more than once, and which is fine. But I personally wanted to touch upon this one. And it was tweeted by Tim Pool, and so I started to skim through it, and it's just like, okay, we're gonna go there. So this one is going to be somewhat of a long video, so get comfy and prepare to rage. I hate these people. Well, I hate what they preach.
7 a.m., the alarm beeps, and 12-year-old Avery gets out of bed. She has to decide between a dress with monkey bar shorts or a glitter top and leggings. Now, shoes, they're always hard. They need to be practical for PE, but also fashionable.
What she's doing right now is she is setting up the motion of the story and trying to put in our minds who this little kid is. See, I'm gonna skip ahead here.
Rainbow unicorn backpack and waits for her carpool to pick her up. Right when Avery was handed to her mom sensed a special bond, a mother's intuition that Avery was different.
You can't sense your child being trans when they are born. I love the implication here, but no, that's not realistic. I just know.
And her parents, as soon as Avery was a preschooler, knew that as a daughter with a penis.
Okay, no. See, here's the thing. Something I've come to learn when it comes to this trans kid stuff is it is usually coached. It is usually put in the child's head. Take, for example, the story I've been covering at Savejames, where his mother has tried to convince him that he is a girl, and he clearly don't wants to be a girl. He wants to be a boy. I will put a link to the playlist in the description for you guys to check out. It is still an ongoing thing. Evaluation is still ongoing. Anyway, though, no. Usually children are coached into thinking they are trans. They do not come up with this shit by themselves. They do not even understand what that is, much less what their sexual organs are for. Let's continue. These people make me mad.
They needed to advocate for her rights and that they would allow her to live in her affirmed gender.
Again, that shit is coached.
Early on, they sought the help of a child psychologist so that she could live in her affirmed gender. Currently, only the principal at the school knows that Avery is gender expansive or transgender. And when the signs of puberty started to show, they took her to a gender clinic for kids to start gender affirmation therapy, which is the use of medicines and possibly surgery later on to physically align someone with the gender in which they identify.
Okay, so the medicine she's referring to is more than likely puberty blockers, which, by the way, for any of those who have studied the kid or the boy named Jasmine who tried to go from male to female, he was put on puberty blockers, and when he tried to transition, he got stuck in a body that was halfway in between because he did not have enough stuff down there to even attempt the surgery. So again, we have gone over all this stuff while going over the Savejames story, and puberty blockers, which by the way is technically medicine, or rather hormones that was used for prostate cancer, for a pelvic condition in women, and there's hormone issues in little girls, like if their hormones are not balanced or whatnot. So you have medicine, 3 different types of medicines that were originally used for adults and to treat unbalanced hormones. And we are putting this stuff in little kids as puberty blockers and screwing up their bodies and making them sterile. So that's what she means by medicine. I love how they sugarcoat this shit. I really do.
I am one of those pediatric endocrinologists or kids' hormone doctors.
You're a quack. All of you who preach that shit, you guys are all quacks. I cannot believe you guys even have a fucking medical license at this point, but that's where our world is headed. Welcome to it.
That treat children like Avery at Stanford Children's Health. And as a kids' hormone doctor, I know how to start puberty in someone who's not able to do so on their own.
You mean you know how to make the hormones properly balanced to their natural biological state? Is that what you're claiming? Because what you're preaching says the opposite.
I also know how to put puberty on hold if it develops too early.
And the only time it would develop too early, which is mainly in girls, I don't know how it would develop too early in boys, but with girls, when they are overweight, their puberty will start up sooner. It also depends on the genetics, because there are some women's bodies, and the mothers pass on to their daughters, and so on and so forth, that they do get their periods and things very early. I've heard the earliest is 9 years old. That is either due to being overweight or your genetics.
Therefore, my training puts me in a unique situation to be able to help someone like Avery.
Your training causes parents to mutilate their children. Again, children have no idea what this stuff is for, but you guys want to take these children that are confused and possibly brainwash and coach, mind you, and destroy them. This has been in the works for quite some time, and as I've said in other videos, I've said in other streams, we're starting to see this crap creep out all over the place in the States. You've seen the freaking aftermath of it in Canada. Canada is so freaking messed up right now because of it. And with this stuff, it is blurring the line between the two genders, men and women. This is not okay. Leave the damn kids alone. You know, something I've noticed, and I have nothing against my viewers who are LGBT. Again, we've had people like Trina May on, pre-op, post-op, so things like that. You live your life how you will, but leave the fucking kids alone. They don't understand the stuff, and the fact that you guys went from trying to convince the adults, and a lot of the adults told you to shoo, go away, and now you guys are going after the children. Children are more susceptible, and they absorb stuff like a sponge. So again, in order for a little child to say that they are trans, or they are this and that, they have to be coached. They have to be exposed to it first. You people are disgusting.
And as a girl with a penis, she is not going to have...
No, you guys cannot rewrite biology. There's no way. You guys have been trying to do this for the past couple years. Biology is not going to change to fit your narrative. Men have penises, women have vaginas. That is how it's always going to be. The two are never going to mix. They're never going to cross over. You cannot biologically change your gender. Now, what people want to do when they're adult and how they want to live, that is fine. As long as you're not forcing that on anybody else and you made that decision for yourself and you feel that is the best path, fine. I'm not going to encourage this way or the other, but everyone is free to choose their own path when they are adults. Leave the fucking kids out of it.
The chest development or the body shape that she wants. Instead, she is going to make testosterone.
You mean he's going to make testosterone, which is natural for his biological body, is in his hormone balance. Oh my gosh.
Her face is going to develop facial hair. Her voice is going to deepen. Her Adam's apple is going to become more prominent. Her chest will broaden. And of course, her testes and penis will enlarge.
Again, how do you guys have medical licenses still? How are you guys even allowed to be in the medical field and push the pseudoscience? Because this is what this is. You know, a lot of people, and me and Miss Steam just had a stream about the anti-vaxxers, and she brought up how one of her relatives thought we were playing God when it comes to medicine. This legitimately is us trying to play God, and I'm not trying to force religion on anybody's head or whatnot, but no, this is mad science. This is something, and I've said it before, and I said it a long time ago, can't remember which video it was, But we have come very far in our medical advances, and now we are crossing boundaries that we have no business doing. It's one thing to help somebody who can't have kids, a naturally born woman who cannot have kids, to go and like, well, we can do this and this and this, or somehow make a man fertile, that's sterile, biological man. But when we try to do this and we are mutilating our own children to fit some sort of agenda, because this is what this shit is. You guys are trying to change science. You had many adults tell you to go away, and now you're going after the kids. Appalling. Simply appalling.
Her parents knew that the signs of puberty needed to be put on hold with the pubertal blocker, which is a medication that is used to stop the chemical messages from the brain to the rest of the body that says, hey, it's time to develop.
Yeah, which also makes them sterile because you completely throw off their hormones, completely screw up their body. And when they do go to transition, if that's the route that they want to go, they're not going to be able to do so because there's not enough material down there, as it were. You know, there's been a lot of studies and a lot of pediatricians who have come in and said, hey, this is a time of confusion, and it usually goes away with proper therapy. But no, you guys want to push this and try to use the kids to push the narrative, and you're willing to sacrifice children for it.
And with the use of a pubertal blocker, I can give Avery another 2 to 3 years so that she can be consistent with the gender in which she identifies. And if she continues, then estrogen can be added to her therapy so that she could have the development that she would want.
Let me point something else out too, because I recently watched a video by Blair White. For those of you who do not know, Blair White is trans. Blair White is technically a transgender. Let me say why. Blair has come out and has said that, because I do refer to Blair as a he has come out and said that he will not get the bottom surgery. And he stated very clearly as to why that is. Depression. The depression rates go up. Blair talked about the possibility of being suicidal and all these different complications. And I'm not trying to be mean, but no freaking shit. Because you are forcing a hormone balance, or rather an unbalance that's unnatural to your body. So anybody who has looked at, say, birth control, because this does, depending on the body of a woman, it can throw off the balance, the proper balance, and make women depressed and even to the point of suicidal. Go look at what the unbalanced hormone does, both in men and women. Men and women have different hormone balances. Women have progesterone and estrogen as dominant with a skosh of testosterone, and then men have testosterone and progesterone with a skosh of testosterone, and then androgen fits in that equation somewhere. But when those balances, those natural balances in men and women are thrown off, yes, you're going to have depression. You're going to have suicide. You're going to have all sorts of mood swings. You're going to have weight gain. Because those are balances that are unnatural for your body. I'm not trying to be mean. This is basic science. You do not need a degree for this shit. This is stuff you can go and Google. And I'm not trying to be mean. Again, you live your life how you will. But facts are facts.
However, if she should identify as the gender she was assigned at birth,
no,
the pubertal blocker can be stopped. No child is assigned a gender at birth. You either have a penis when you were born or a vagina when you were born. It is not the doctor picks and chooses. They go off of your biological traits. Again, the fact that you guys are trying to rewrite science to fit your agenda, your narrative, is freaking disgusting. And it's not, science isn't going to change for you. Yes, there's many parts of science that are ever evolving, a lot of theories, hypotheses, things like that. And those are awesome. The more we learn and grow, that's awesome. But there's certain things like this, basic biology, that do not change, nor will they ever. Let's continue. And she can have the pre-programmed puberty that she was supposed to have. So in Avery's case, she's going to want estrogen. And later on, she can decide if gender affirmation surgery is right for her or not. gender affirmation surgery is the removal of an ovary, uterus, penis, or testes.
Yeah, it's body mutilation. It really freaking is. Now, again, because of purity blockers, Avery won't be able to properly transition. Again, there has been even doctors who do the transition surgeries have come out and said that puberty blockers, no, do not do them.
So that you could be physically aligned with the gender in which you identify. And right now, gender affirmation surgery is reserved only for those who are 18 years of age or
and properly so. Children have no idea what that crap is, nor should they, because they are too young. They don't even know what their sexual organs are for or what sex is, or even like the point of men and women. They don't understand that. They just understand, hey, I'm learning, I'm playing, hey, I'm confused, what is this? It is a phase, but it's something these stupid parents and freaking so-called quack doctors encourage because it fits the agenda. It is bullshit. I'm sorry, this stuff makes me really mad when people go after the kids.
Or older. However, for someone like Avery, would it be more beneficial for her to undergo gender affirmation surgery before the age of 18?
No, because for all you know, it could be a phase. You do not know what the parents are putting in the child's head. Just like with Savejames, Anne was trying to convince James that he was a girl. He's been fighting against it ever since. The only reason why he pretends to be a girl is because that's the only way to get mommy's attention. You don't freaking understand what you are doing to these kids. It is disgusting. Leave them alone. It is one thing to let them explore their world with healthy boundaries put in place. It is another thing to fuel that confusion and brainwash them and coach them a certain way so you could fit some sort of criteria of progressivism, if that's even a freaking word. No. You people, I'm actually not surprised by this. I'm still angered by it, but the fact that you guys are pushing this is no surprise considering how you guys also advocated for pedophilia. Oh, you guys think I'm bullshitting? I will go also put the link in the description to their TED Talks on a man being a pedophile and them calling it a sexual orientation. I shit you not. These people are fucking out of their minds. I am so tired of this shit.
18 is the age of majority, and many states have laws that prevent sterilization or the permanent removal of reproductive capability.
Thank you for saying that. Sterilization. Meaning, if you put these kids on puberty blockers and they decide that what they were going through was a phase and they were confused and they destroy their bodies, they can't have kids or reproduce. Thank you for saying exactly what this shit is. Wow.
However, these laws were made at a time in which transgender adults could not easily get medical or surgical treatment. And therefore, these laws were made when people like Avery were not being considered.
Because they're children. And yes, they are being very much considered when these laws are put in place to protect them, so psychos like you do not have access to them and cannot use them as your fucking guinea pigs, which you people are starting to do. Even with the adults, as I've said it before, if stuff can happen which breaks you on such a deep level to where you have confusion. People don't want to deal with their shit all the way, so they resort to the quick and easy route and find out they have more complicated problems than they did in the first place. I don't bullshit about this stuff. I have nothing against people who choose to be or transition. As I said, we've had Trina May on here, and I respect her, and yes, I do refer to her transition surgery because of my respect for her, and we've gone over a lot of different things during various streams. Trina May's a rare case. But even she goes, no, this is bull. You guys have seen Trina May. For those of you, real quick, apparently she's been struck off her Twitter again. She's been dealing with some nut jobs herself. But no, laws are put in place to protect the kids, because when you have adults who don't want to deal with their own confusion, their own problems, and they opt to get their bodies mutilated, and then they push that crap on the kids, yeah, there's going to be laws put in place so you quacks can't destroy our kids. But, you guys are already trying to do that.
And as I treat Avery, someone who identified as a preschooler and is getting treatment as an adolescent, is the surgical world ready for the changes that are to come? Currently, I don't think so. But if we start thinking about these changes today, I think we can make a difference. And in fact, as transgender people are more openly being able to seek therapy, the demand for transgender surgery has increased by 5-fold over the past 5 years.
You want to know why that is? That's not a good thing. When you see a trend like that skyrocket, like you have places like Australia, I believe the UK, Canada, even here to where you start to see more trans kids, more people come out as transgender, that's not a good thing. That is a red freaking flag to go, what the hell is going on? Because that means more people are either opting in for the progressive movement to push an agenda, or there's a lot of broken people around. I'm not going to bullshit about that. But that is a red flag anytime you have those increases. That's not a good thing. You're pushing it like it's a good thing. No, it just means people are confused, and the fact that we're even, and I'm not trying to be mean. I don't have anything against anybody who's LGBT, anything like that, but at the same time, no, I've even said on stream, it is not a route I recommend, because if you do all the research, you do all the studies, you look at the hormone imbalance, you look at all this stuff, it only makes your problems worse. And again, let me bring up Blair White, because I do consider Blair White a guy. I don't care how feminine the guy looks. I really don't. Because first he said he was going to detransition to have kids, which in my opinion is a total joke, and I'm gonna leave it at that. And then second of all, the not getting surgery, stating the complications, because he did bring up money being overly expensive, but just the complications themselves, which leads to a higher risk of depression, even suicide. As Trina May has pointed out, your entire system, reproductive system, is halted or removed. Trina May still struggles with depression. The depression did not go away. Part of that is hormonal. Part of that is not having the proper hormone balance. That's nothing to Trina May, but that's just facts. That is biology when your hormones are out of whack. That's why when people gain weight, especially with women, they look at their hormones balance. They look at the thyroid. That's why women in particular are put on birth control if their periods are far too irregular or they have more than one a month. That is their hormones going out of control. That's usually when they're over emotional, depressed, depending on how bad it is, even suicidal. And also, let's look at giving birth. For those of you who don't know what post-depression is, that's when you have a significant hormone drop. I believe it's of progesterone, and you have depression for a little while after giving birth, and you have to take medication to rectify that for a small time. I have one of my sisters did that. So that's because of the hormones became unbalanced. Again, this is not a joke. This is not funny. This is not a good thing. You are screwing with children. You are screwing up their bodies. This is not even the way to even deal with confusion. And again, I know this is a long video. I might even finish this up because let me see how far we're at. Oh my God, we're at a half an hour. So we're going to watch a little bit more and then I'm going to wrap it up. But seriously look into what I'm saying. Use an example of Savejames. I use Blair White as an example as just like, what the hell? We're starting to see, I posted something on my Facebook about a female to male transition, and the woman got pregnant while transitioning to a male, so it looks like a pregnant man. And there was bits and pieces of how he became confused or felt feminine because he was pregnant. Yeah, you're a woman. Your natural biological body became pregnant with a child, so you can have all the hormones and things like that to come with it. We're starting to see more and more of that, and it's not. This is not good. I don't care. This is not good.
And one may think that the preservation of surgery is a valid one, but in reality is not very relevant or valid.
Yeah, it is. Let me skip ahead because if you guys want to watch the full thing, it's going to be the link in the description, as well as the pedophilia one. Hold on.
And has thought of this one procedure for so long. So rather than to use strict age limits for eligibility, why not use the number of years in which one has lived in their affirmed gender?
I'm done. Yep, nope, we're done. We're so done. Okay, so, I don't expect everybody to agree with me or even like what I have to say. And I'm probably going to lose a few subs. Anytime I touch this stuff, some people get real touchy, and I understand it's a very touchy subject. But, again, this is not, okay, if you're an adult and you feel that route is the best course for you, that's your free will. That is your liberty. That is your life. But if you go to push this crap on children, screw off. I don't care. There's no such thing as a trans child. Any child that claims to be trans is brainwashed. Kids don't understand, and I know I sound like a broken record, kids do not understand the basics of sex. They don't understand what their sexual organs are. When they come out and say that they are trans or whatever, they have been exposed to something. They have been coached into something. They have been coerced or encouraged in something. And again, there have been pediatricians that have come out and said, well, no, I have dealt with children who have gone through this phase and it goes away. But you have these quacks, again, this is TED Talks, who push all this crazy shit. They're the ones that push the body positivity, the pedophilia, the sexual orientation, and now they're pushing trans kids. Go freaking figure. Anyway, I'm done. You guys want to watch the video or sit through it, link is in the description, as well as the other one. I'm also going to put the playlist to Savejames because why the hell not? You guys will see exactly what I'm talking about when you guys go and follow that story. You guys have a good one, and I'll see you in the next one.